Hi, welcome to the Tamarack Community Fire briefing meeting this evening. This is our first community briefing. The purpose of this evening is to introduce you to all the agencies that are working hard on this fire, to introduce you to the team that is here helping manage it. We've had phenomenal work done prior to our arrival, and so with that, we'll get started. First up this evening, we have Under Sheriff Minder from Alpine County. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tom Minder. I'm the Undersheriff for Alpine County Sheriff's Office. Just giving you an update on our closures and our evac areas. Currently, all of Markleyville is under mandatory evacuation, along with Woodford's and along with the Mesa Vista. We currently have active fire in the Woodford's Canyon, and Forest Service is working to put that fire out. Right now, we have closures from Pickett's Junction on Highway 88 at the top of Woodford's Canyon and all the way down to State Line. You can get that information on our website, Alpine County government site, if you go online, and we have a link to our EOC where you can also pick up that information. And that's all I have tonight.
Hi, I'm Douglas County Sheriff Dan Coverly. Douglas County does not have any evacuations at this time. What we have done is notify residents along two areas of concern. The first area that we have that we want residents to be aware is Fredericksburg Road from the state line to Foothill to Centerville Lane. And the other area of concern is Highway 395 from basically Ruinstroth to the state line down at Topaz. We're asking you just to be aware, have a plan in case we do ask you to evacuate. We will contact you in person or via our reverse 911 system through dispatch and give you plenty of time to get out safely. Be aware of possible power outages and road closures. So if there's something specific that you need now, we encourage you to take care of that and have that on hand so that you're not out of it or unable to get it when you need it. So thank you very much.
All right, good evening. I'm Pat Seekins, operations for the Rocky Mountain Area Type 1 team, and going to give you an update on where we're at with the fire as of this evening. So we'll start up here in the northeast corner of the fire, just south of Woodford here, right along the Black Edge. We've had really good success here. The previous team and firefighters have done a really good job going direct right along the fire's edge with dozers and hand crew with hand crews. We've established a good anchor point, so there's been really good progress, and we've got some really good containment right along the fire's edge here. So we've been really successful, and we're going to continue to build off this success moving forward, turning the corner on the north end of the fire. Continuing on kind of in the northeast section of the fire, things get a little more complicated. This ground is pretty steep and rugged terrain. Today there was quite a bit of fire activity that picked up on the north end of the fire, as well as the northeast corner of the fire here. This fire perimeter has grown as of this evening, somewhere just shy, within a half a mile estimated of the state line here towards Douglas County and Alpine County. Crews are looking at assessing some direct options right along the fire's edge, but the fire's just been too active today. So we've got a lot of crews that have backed off along the 395 corridor. We've got a ton of resources, engines, firefighters, working, assessing all the values at risk, some of the structures right along the Highway 395. We also had crews looking for options to keep any kind of fire spread with potential dozer line. Some dozer line was established right along here just to exclude any kind of impacts from that fire that wants to continue to push to the northeast here. So there's been a lot of good work done up in here, but there's still a lot of work to do, and there's still a lot of potential for this fire to move around in here. So we're going to continue to highest priority of the fire right now is this area in the northeast corner of the fire. and of course the Highway 395 corridor, with a lot of engines and firefighters coordinating with the county, any law enforcement, and just really prioritizing the northeast corner of the fire. Sliding down into the east portion of this fire. This section of the fire has been fairly quiet over the last couple of days. However, today things picked up. The fire has progressed quite a ways, but it hasn't making a big run, but more or less it's just been chewing through some of the steep, rugged terrain in here where we haven't been able to access directly with firefighters. So once again, the hot conditions, the dry fuels, things were burning fairly active today with the warmer temps. So the plan here, once again, is to look for those options further out from the fire's edge, looking for those natural barriers, whether that's rocks. We have some previous fire scars out here to the east that we're going to be looking at really close, as well as some existing road systems a little further out to start to keep everything in check from progressing further to the east. Sliding down into the southeast portion of this fire. Once again, this area has been fairly quiet over the last couple of days, but things did pick up quite a bit today. There was a little more activity in here that's been pretty quiet. So this fire's progressed just a little bit today and become a little bit active, but no values at risk, no real concerns right now for this piece. And they are looking for some other options a little further away from the fire's edge. Down here on the south end of the fire, this is some really steep, rugged terrain. There's a lot of natural barriers and features as far as rocks. There's a fair amount of fuel, and there's still a fair amount of heat and some fire behavior, but more or less this fire's edge is very slow in progress. So currently this area is unstaffed with firefighters. Once again, our priority focus is up here, as well as other portions of the fire where there's really not a ton of fire behavior, any values at risk or threats to the south. Moving over to the southwest corner of the fire, not a whole lot of activity along the fire's edge here. It does have some heat here, but once again, no real threat, no real significant movement from the fire to the southwest, all along this fire perimeter. So as we pick up here, moving back towards Woodford on the northwest corner of the fire, this is where we've had some fairly significant fire behavior. Things have picked up, and this fire has spread back down towards Highway 88. So this is our dual priority here, as well as this northeast corner. So we've got a real high emphasis and focus here with a lot of firefighters on the ground to keep that fire spread west of Highway 89, where we have some indirect dozer line and some hand crews tied that into Highway 88 to keep any kind of impacts from any of these values around Woodford. So feeling good about where folks are at here. The firefighters done some excellent job in here protecting these values. And as this fire slowly backs down, they'll continue to reassess, and they've established some good lines here from impacting any values along Highway 88 here. So once again, kind of a recap, very high priority here around Woodford and the Highway 88 corridor, as well as the northeast corner here with the 395 corridor, as well as the state line, and protecting, really emphasizing the values and any kind of threat in here. We do have structure protection groups with a lot of resources, a lot of engines on this entire fire. Their focus not only is perimeter control and where the evacuations have been in place for future plans. We've got groups in here in Markville. We still have a group in here assessing structures and protecting Grover Hot Springs, and then all the way back to Woodford. So aside from those three locations, we're out here in Mesa Vista, and we have a high presence along the 395 corridor, and that'll just continue into the future as we get additional resources and focus on those high values and those immediate potential threats as the days move on. So once again, a high priority, but we've been successful on this northwest corner. We want to build off that success and limit any kind of fire spread to the northeast. And obviously, our goal is to keep the fire south of 88. south of Highway 88. We are staffing this fire 24 hours a day. We have a full night shift, night operations. Night operations is obviously their primary focus is structure protection in all these communities within and around the entire fire perimeter. So 24-hour staffing, we've got, that'll just continue throughout the next couple of days, and we'll add additional resources as needed moving forward.
Thanks, Pat. Good evening. I'm Glenn Lewis, Fire Behavior Analyst with Rocky Mountain IMT1. So the conditions over the fire area have been very hot, very dry, unseasonably so, more so than what would occur in a normal fire season. But also above the fire has been a mass of very unstable air, which has helped to promote the fire growth as it gets going. Just taking a little bit of wind, that unstable air, if you think of it kind of as a chimney above the fire, and if you have a dampener on that chimney with more stable air, it's not able to vent as well, and so it doesn't burn as well or as rapidly or spread as rapidly. When that's all the way open, then it kind of draws the fire in, and it really kind of accelerates the growth under much lighter wind conditions than what we would anticipate. So over the last couple of days, we've seen those lighter winds, but still seen some fairly significant fire growth out there. Those conditions are anticipated to continue for the next couple of days. The one advantage that we do have is that in some areas of the fire, out in particularly over towards the east here, the fire has moved into a little bit lighter fuels, where it is going to take a little bit higher winds to see that same kind of fire behavior that we've seen previous to the last couple of days. So in the heavier fuels here, again, still very dry, and so the fire is still moving along there. However, it's moved on to some advantageous slopes where the firefighters have been in there, been able to be a little bit more aggressive, and have been able to check it up in some of those areas. So going forward, again, still looking at very hot and dry conditions for the foreseeable future. And with the unstable atmosphere still hanging around in the general area.
Thanks, Glenn. Hi, folks. Dan Dallas, the incident commander for the Rocky Mountain Incident Management Team. If you get to go towards the last, then a lot of it's been said, but I just wanted to share a couple things with you folks. So kind of wanted to tell you what you can expect from us while we're here, and then give a little vision of the future. But I wanted to start out with some kudos. First of all, the team that was here before us just did a really good job of kind of setting things up under some really dynamic conditions. But the main thing I wanted to get across, and you've heard some of it and you'll hear some more after me, for you folks out there, it's a hard time, especially for the folks that have been evacuated. But I just want you to know how impressed we are, and how your elected officials and some of the other county folks are really serving you in this time of need. And also some of the agency officials are just have really been impressive, really been helpful for us, and we hope helpful for you too. So what you can expect from us, we have an actual delegation of authority from Alpine County, the BLM, the Forest Service, now Douglas County, the BIA, and I'm forgetting one. Help me out. BLM. I'm sorry, Paul. Did I say it? All right. Anyway, 5 different entities right now, and so we're in support of them. They've given us, it's basically exceeded their capacity, and so we're here to help them until locally they can manage the situation again. That's our basic job. The second thing is to support our firefighters in the field with all the things that you've seen. Might have seen the caterer at the Douglas High School, that sort of thing. But the third thing we're here in support of you. So just wanted to kind of pass that along. If there's any issues that come up, I know our liaison officers and our public affairs function, they answer a lot of questions as the day goes on. And if they don't know, then and it involves another one of our functions, operations or logistics or whoever, then they get that to us and we make sure we can answer your questions. So really appreciate your participation tonight. Wanted to give you a little vision of the future, and you folks have heard it, so I'll just summarize it. Going to continue to be a bit of a dynamic situation out on the fire line until we can get some more control in place, but we're making pretty good progress on doing that. But at the same time, so you saw it got hotter, drier, clearer. Thank goodness the smoke kind of cleared up, but that's a bit of a trade-off. And the trade-off is particularly with our aircraft, when it's sunny like that and clear, then we can fly aircraft, helicopters, retardant planes, that sort of stuff. But at the same time, the solar radiation heats up the fuel that, as Glenn shared with you, is just about as dry as it's possible to get right now. And so that's why you're seeing some of the fire behavior, and that's expected to continue. Hotter, drier, dry out, there'll be not as much humidity and stuff like that for the foreseeable future, at least until next weekend when they, then forecasts become a little less accurate. So that's what you can expect. We'll have additional meetings, I know, as time goes on. Not sure what the schedule is right now. We don't have another one scheduled, but certainly wanted on our first day to connect with all you folks and look forward to talking to you some more.
Paul Fuselight, Bureau of Land Management, Carson City District Agency Representative. We look forward to working with the local government and communities to bring a quick end to this disaster. In the future, we look forward to working with you in the recovery and restoration of your public lands and communities.
Good evening. My name is Matt Zoomstein. I serve as the district ranger for the Carson Ranger District of the Humboldt-Toyabe National Forest. On July 16th, this fire took off, and we spent multiple shifts with our local resources here working hard to preserve life and property. I'd like to thank all of those who put themselves in harm's way towards that effort. It was heroic and to be commended, and I'm extremely thankful. Additionally, when we saw that the fire was beyond our capacity, we pushed the button on and bringing in a Type 2 team. Those folks were excellent in taking the assignment and improving the situation further, and then creating a nice handoff to the Type 1 team, which we needed the horsepower with the complexity involved of this incident. So today we transitioned to Rocky Mountain Team 1. We're grateful that they're here, and we're excited about the prospects of making further progress on this fire. In terms of leaders' intent, the objective of this fire is to stop it in its tracks at its smallest possible size. Our first priority is human life, the life of our firefighters and the people who are on the line, as well as the public. Our second priority is property. We understand that people have been evacuated. That's a heavy burden. We're doing everything we can to protect those resources and to protect those values and homes, and make sure that they don't burn down, and that they're there for you when it's safe and you're allowed to move back in. Third is the infrastructure that supports those communities. And then last, we definitely want to ensure that we're doing everything we can to minimize the spread and give our diligence to the beloved lands and watersheds that comprise the HT and adjacent land jurisdictions. So That's going to take 100% of our focus and collaboration with our stakeholders and our partners. We're appreciative of what we've seen out of everybody so far. It's going to take a large coordinated effort to maintain safety, to preserve life, and to be effective in facing these issues. So we look forward to moving forward, and we're going to continue to work as hard as we possibly can. We appreciate the support from the affected communities, and we'll do everything we can to assist you in getting back into your homes and on with your lives, and then being there right with you in the restoration and recovery afterwards as we move forward into the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle Kelly, Public Information Officer with the Rocky Mountain Incident Management Team. I want to thank you all for taking time this evening to be here with us. You can ask any questions that you may have come up with during tonight's meeting by sending them to our Facebook page, or you can also email us. Our email is listed on our Facebook page. We are also on NC Web, and you can look up the Tamarack Fire there, and you can link to us there. You can follow our daily updates with a daily map, and we will also be posting air quality updates for you at NCWeb, on Facebook and Twitter. So we look forward to interacting with you. We do have people answering our information phone, so you can get real live information, and we can specify specific information to you individually. We also have a media line set up for the media to get their questions answered, and we just thank the community for all their support, and thank you to everybody who came before us for the great job they've done. Have a good night.